Mike, second start tonight. How much different was it preparing for this one and going through it this time than the first start?
A big part of it is getting more experience, right? Guys that play against ODU, start against ODU, go through a week and see what it's like to be a starter. How to prepare and watch film and how to, go about practice and the thought process and that kind of stuff. And I feel like that experience, and learning stuff from that week, the ODU week, helped me to, fix up, how I'm going to approach this week as far as Kansas State.
I think you missed a couple of throws early, but then you hit that dime to Mobley, right? Just
Yeah.
drop it in the bucket.
Timo.
Did that kind of settle you in after that?
Yeah, 100%. This is something we talked about. They like to go man coverage, especially on third down, third and long too. So something that we talked about, in practice all week, like, hey, I like our guys over their guys. So if we get press man and we have a go ball called, let it rip. So that's what I did. Timo made a great play. O-line gave me enough time to throw the ball, so it was just a great execution all around.
What did you see on the last couple of plays there in overtime?
Part of it just kind of prevent defense. We kind of got behind the sticks, and that hurt us a little bit. They were just trying to keep everything in front of them, and we were just kind of, I feel like, our own worst enemy, being behind the sticks. Because we need to score a touchdown there.
You found out earlier in the week you were going to be starter. Coach Chad said maybe Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yep.
Going into that, you guys had no postseason ambitions. You weren't playing beyond this week. How did you get that group to rally for you and get them? Evan Dickens had a huge game. That's probably part of it.
Yeah.
Just being able to hand off to him.
Dog.
But how did you get that group, together to be able to go out and fight like you guys did against a really good team?
You know what? It's not just about what I did, because there's a bunch of dudes on the team, like seniors, like that. I love this locker room and love these guys, and they just like they love each other. So I feel like what helped me, just be confident and help rally the troops was that everybody, like the older guys, were like that. You know what I mean? So it was just a great thing to be around. And whatever our record is, I don't even know at this point, but whatever our record is, like, one thing about our locker room is that we love each other, like, no matter what. And I want to have so many best friends on this team, and I think that's what really did it. No bowl game, yeah, sure, but we love each other.
You mentioned Evan there. What have you seen out of him over this season? He goes from being, third string or whatever it was in the preseason to having an insane run these last 5-6 weeks.
Yeah.
What have you seen out of him that has kind of helped him take that next step and really being one of the top running backs in the country?
Yeah. He's a dog. So I think, Evan hasn't changed from the first half to second half, personality-wise. He's always real humble. He keeps himself a lot. He's quiet. We actually have two classes together, accounting and business class together, and we're just there, hanging out in the front row and learning and that kind of stuff. But he's just always been super humble and super quiet. And, whenever someone tries to hype him up, it's like, hey, man, relax. So I think he hasn't changed anything at all. From when I met him in January till the first half, and then now this great stunt that he's been going on. But he hasn't really changed much. The only thing that's really changed is just how much playing time, how many carries he got. He's just a good football player.
How much can this week, for you, the last week of the season, knowing you were getting the start, and just the game plan and prep, and obviously the experience on the field tonight, how much can that help you, like, moving into the offseason and moving into next year?
So much. Practice is great. Reps and practice are great, but nothing compares to the game. So, being able to play, a good amount this year really helped me a ton. Just kind of feel myself and for my game and see how I play and what I'm good at, and and just kind of help our team win and help our offense move the ball. So I think that nothing compares to game reps, and the fact that I got some, I'm so fortunate to get some and be able to execute with the guys. So I think it's a really, really cool thing. I can build on that with the rest of the offense, for this next season.
Coach mentioned Ethan's going to be out about 6 months at least with the surgery. Do you prepare yourself going into spring ball like, this could be my job here potentially? Yeah,
I think you always prepare yourself that way. When I came in here, I felt the same way. I'm sure every guy in the room felt the same way. So whether if you're your starter or your fifth string, you should always come in and think, I'm going to come win this job at some point. That was my mindset at UNC. It's the same thing. I was fourth string when week one, and I was like, at some point, it's my job. So yeah, that doesn't really change.
Last couple of weeks you played pretty well defensively tonight. Probably some things collectively as a group you guys would like to have back. How do you assess this one? Some of the big plays that they were able to get tonight?
Yeah, it really just comes down to like the details. I personally, there was one play I had to fit inside. It was like Pollard's have to fit inside, and that's just a mental error. I just gotta knock out. And there might be some other players here and there that have the mental errors, but it really just comes down to a detail oriented. Just get more intense on the details, and that's really what it comes down to. Because you see, like when we play our best, like the best is the best. That's standard. So really just details.
Coach was up here just now. I mean, I'm sure you heard him talking about core group and guys that want to be here and hoping to get those guys back. I mean, you think about the core that's in place here now. If these guys return, I mean, do you think that the best is still to come for this group?
Absolutely. And we got some guys. I know the guys that want to be here, guys that want to play ball, guys that love the game, love being around it. And I say if we get guys back, we're for sure we're going on the upward trend. It takes constant work, constant dedication. Like I said, just mentioned, like details. That's really what it comes down to. So it comes down to details. Retain those guys, work from there.
How much were you guys missing Joe Carter these last few weeks?
Yeah, it's been tough. Joe, he was really like the head. He was a spear in the linebacker room, and not only linebacker room, but defense and all. So I mean, it was definitely hard. He was like a leader. He helps put people in their place. He's vocal too. So it's been hard, but like he's the main one that said like next man up. So and he encouraged it, and he's always been there. He's constantly giving us feedback on what we can do better. What needs to be done, what needs to happen. So he's just been there constantly. So I mean, it definitely hurt, but like he still made sure like he was there, like he was present, he was with us. So it's been tough, but he's there.
Coach mentioned after Jay missed that field goal that kind of felt like this isn't our time, right? We kind of had a lot of moments like that this year. Maybe it's a little bit of a microcosm of your season. Would you look back on the season a little bit? Is it kind of like hey, maybe this wasn't our year? Maybe everything kind of snowballed against us. Do you want to point to maybe a couple instances or a couple games where things kind of went off the rails a little bit, or do you feel like it was just kind of a collective shortcoming? If you want to kind of diagnose the issues here.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm not sure. You mean like what is there a pinpoint place where it all went wrong?
Yeah, do you feel like there might be a game or maybe just a little stretch in the season where things kind of got off the rails for you guys?
I'm not sure. Again, this is not the season you want. Some we work hard for in the summer. I mean, I guess sometimes things just don't fall into place. But I mean, I don't think I can pinpoint a direct game or a play where everything went downhill. But I'm not sure. I mean, it's just. Some things go your way, some things don't go your way. But like Coach Shaw, he talks about it, like in this life, things are not going to go your way. It's about how you're gonna overcome it, how you're gonna do better with those things that have happened to you. So I mean, going from this point on, it's more about how we're gonna overcome it. And I think with the guys we have now, and then the guys that want to be here, that want to come back, and like things of that nature, like we got what it takes. And I think with that mindset, it's like this year won't happen again. It's like we're on the upward rise.
4 straight games there to end the season, 3 of them going overtime, and all decided by one score. What do you think were kind of the key swing plays or moments or things that happened in some of those games that you guys ended up on the wrong end of the scoreboard?
I feel like sometimes, like today especially, penalties were a big thing for us. Penalties on defense. I think we had a couple face masks. I myself had a penalty too on. Grabbed them. So, I mean, penalties were a big thing this past game. And, yeah, just penalties, feel like, again, like I said, I know I keep saying, like, details. It all comes down to the details. It's like how intentional are you about where you're fitting? How intentional are you about eyes on your right man? How intentional are you with fitting your gap? Intentional, communication, everything. So I feel like just details, really.
Odom, you saw him on tape. You see him on the field. I mean, your impressions of him as a quarterback, and what did he do to hurt you guys tonight?
Yeah, I mean he's a solid quarterback. He definitely he's a running quarterback. He did a good job spacing out the field. He's using his legs. So yeah, I feel like that was the main thing. I know he had a couple balls on his like deep balls. But yeah, he's a solid quarterback. I mean, he does a good job using his legs, running around blocks. I mean, I almost missed one on him too. So he's agile, he's shifty. So, I mean, he did a good job kind of shedding blocks and just spacing us out a little bit. Deep balls, occasional.
Is a little bit of what you guys did this week maybe you want to replicate it next year. Obviously, going into this week, you guys didn't have a lot to play for. There was no bowl game, no postseason hopes. You found a way to rally at least and make it a close game. Obviously, a very high-scoring game. Is there something you can pull away from that and going into next year where you're talking about, hey, we got to act like this can't happen again. We have to be the group that does that. So are there things you pull away from this week where you guys were as far away from postseason ambitious as you could hope and taking that to next year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, going into this game, we know bowl games, not having championship, not having everything, but the mindset going into the week, like this week is for the seniors. So like everyone had the mindset like this is for the seniors. You know, the seniors, they put in so much of this program, they deserve to go out with the win. So that was our mindset going into this entire week. Like, do it for the seniors, do it for the people that have been here we've been together since January, working workouts all day, every day. So it's like we've been with those guys. So I mean, that's been it. Like that was our main focus. Like, do it for the seniors. And so I feel like with these next group now, it's gonna me like personally, like I'm gonna be a senior too. And it's like the way that I'd want the team, the underclassmen to play is like how we played tonight. Like, I mean, the effort was there. I mean, again, it was a details thing, but like our heart was in it in the locker room. Our heart was in it. Like we were there. The sidelines were jumping. So I mean, it's really that. It's like we fight for the seniors. You fight for your brothers. Fight the ones you love. I mean, if we carry that next season, like I said, we're on the upper rise for sure.
This might be a tough question, but I mean, you were part of the championship team at your previous stop, won a national title. I mean, you've been around. Don't think necessarily across the board talent level, but just things that made up a championship team. Do you see some of those same characteristics here, or are there things that this team still needs to strive for in that department? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I feel like the biggest thing when I think of Michigan, like I think what really led us to the national championship was like the leaders in the room. Like we had leaders like J.J. McCarthy, Mikey Samerstill, Blake Corum, those type of guys. Like we got set leaders, and that they not only speak it, but they prove it with their actions. So I feel like, and this team too, like I said, like leaders like Joe Vasco, like all these other guys, they're leaders. And so I feel like that's definitely a similarity in between. But I feel like not only that, it's like when something happens to like leader, like everyone else has to rise up with it. So I feel like it's definitely a similarity in between like the leadership that was at Michigan and the leadership here. They're like the exact same. But I just feel like, when you're like, when the senior or captain, anybody, the leaders go down, it's like everyone has to rise up with it. So, and then I feel like negative differential. I don't really know how. I just think I go back to leadership. I feel like our leadership with those guys, common similarity in between it. So we carry that into next year. Like our leadership, we become more leading. Tell the guys what they need here, not what they want to hear. I mean, it's a big part of it.